Good morning. I'm Eckhart, the German butcher. Today I want to make some hot dogs and coarse hot dogs, or Jachtwurst, or maybe they call it summer sausage, and Krakauer. In Germany, the coarse meat was always the same, only different casings. For example, hot dogs were made in pork casings. Krakauer we made in beef rounds or artificial casings, and Jachtwurst in the 60mm artificial casing. But before I want to show what I'm doing, I have actually my kuda here. I have 3 pound lean meat in it, that is venison, 3 pound pork fat, and the first time, or not the first time, but I want to try it on 2 different ways. Once I finish the lean meat first and then put the fat in it. And what I want to do now, just put lean meat and fat together in the kuda. Now you can see I have the lean meat on the bottom that is ground to the 2mm, and it was grounded once before already to a 3mm. And the pork fat I got to a 2mm. I always leave it separate, so I have a complete control how much lean meat, how much fat. And now what I want to do, I have 3 pound lean meat, 3 pound fat, and I want to put 2 pound of ice in it. Before, when I started for a long time, I put the ice first, crushed it and put the meat in it. And now I do it different, then I get it a little finer before the ice is gone. After it is somewhat mixed, I start putting ice in it, but always just a little at a time. In Germany, in the butcher shop, most of the time the boss did it himself, and always by feelings. I never developed the feelings for it, so I do it my way. And as you see, I got ice slow. I make it slow in the ninja. I turn the machine off so you can hear me better. I always go and feel it, but when you use the right hand with the ice, like I do, I feel with the left hand, so I have a better feeling. I can tell you that it's pretty cold yet, I can let it run for a while, even you don't see no more ice. Now I put the rest of my ice in here. Now I got my buffalo cutter open. This is a machine, I have that for over 30 years I think, or more. 30 years, that's more than 45 years. And before there was a plastic sleeve on here, but since they're so old, they don't make parts for this machine anymore. So I made one out of stainless steel sleeve over, put a plastic ring over here from a plumbing department, so it doesn't throw the meat out. Maybe I can show later on what I'm talking about. Now I put my coarse meat, is about 60-40 pork meat, and I grind it to a 13mm blade, and now I put it in the kuda, but as you see I changed the knives to 2 knives, and I let it run just very, very little, otherwise the meat becomes too small already. I like to have it pretty coarse. Now stop the machine and open it. You can see it's mixed pretty good. If you want to do it with a kuda, you also can do it by hand. But then I would grind it only to 8mm. But But it's done now. I take it out and I later on I clean everything up. Now I got my sausage out. I want to talk about this thing one more time. What it really is a sleeve so the meat doesn't go in there. If you don't do that, even if you don't have this plastic on, the meat goes still in and ruins your bearing inside. We changed the bearing twice in here already, over the years, not lately. Now I have here my two kinds I made today. The one on the left, I could or put it in the machine first, the lean meat, and once it was fine, then I put the fat in it. If you look closer, you can see the little fat pieces in yet, because it probably is too soft when it started. Now on the right here, I put the lean and the fat in at the same time, and added little ice just as we go along. It's a different color. And if you look closer, that is finer. I don't know if you can see the meat, the fat pieces in there. That's the one I made separate, and there you can see the fat in the fat pieces in very little. And this, I call it my coarse sausage, Jachtwurst or cold cut or hot dogs, coarse hot dogs or Krakauer. And on the left side I made a little breakfast sausage. I just want to show it, I don't have it there before. Now a little tip, once I have all my sausages pre-mixed, I don't fool around with it. I don't put them in the casing until I have my machine washed up. Because when that stuff dries on, it's very hard to get off. Now another quick tip. How the hell you wash those knives? They're a pain in the neck. My son had to show me how to do it. He took the water hose and hosed it off. When the pressure comes off like nothing. After that you just dump it in soap water and hose it off one more time and you're done. Now I have my sausage out of the smokehouse and I just want to show what I did. Hot dogs I don't want to talk about except I put them in a jar. Now I put salt water on, then I can have them for a year in the fridge and they never taste old. And in front here I have, you can call it Krakauer or Jachtwurst. The first one is in the big casing, is the artificial casing. I call it Jachtwurst. There's the same thing in the beef middles, same sausage. Then I have two Krakauer in the artificial casing. They call it in German, they call it Naturinderme. We always use them in the same casing and then one in beef rounds. And then of course hot dogs. You gotta put it in the heavier casing because of course pieces of meat in it, otherwise you don't fit through the sausage stuffer. Now the next day I like to criticize my own sausage like I always do. Number one, they're the hot dogs. And then the coarse sausage in the natural casings, artificial casings. Coarse sausage, whatever you want to call it, we call it Jachtwurst or Krakauer. And this is actually hot dog mix, but it looks like a bologna. It tastes very good. And this sausage, the coarse sausage could have had a little more garlic in it. But I must say this. The first time that the hot dogs tasted that good, and I don't know why. I should tell you the beginning. Monday I wanted to make sausage. I spiced everything. I had everything salted the day before already. So I put the spices in the grinder to a meat grinder, to a 2mm. And I thought I wanted to do sausage on Saturday. On Tuesday. and I didn't get to it. So I made sausage on Wednesday. And the hot dogs taste so good. Next morning I was having breakfast, and I had some sausages that were twice as big as the little hot dogs there. And I ate 3 of them for breakfast. They were that good. I had to stop myself. They were so good. I want to show you this. It's finer than I ever had before, because I changed the process a little bit. Before I would put ice in the beginning, and now I put the ice in as we go along. And I like it much better. You know, on the Krakauer or on the Yachtwurst, some people might say it should be a little more coarse. You can do whatever you want. To me, this is the Yachtwurst like we used to do in Germany. Now I come back to my jars one more time. I always put my, we call it in Germany, Brühwurst, sausage we make like this, in jars. If I freeze them, I don't like them anymore. But if I have them in the jar, they hold in there in the fridge for 2 years. We have no problems with that. If you didn't watch my other movies, when I ever put them in jars, I put it in 3% brine and put a little Maggi in it. Maggi is a liquid spice from Germany. Now we come to the end of my movie. As you know, I made some hot dogs, and I made some a little longer ones. They're about 2 foot long, almost, not quite, for a special friend. If you like my movies, please share it with your friends and subscribe.